Konnichiwa. When you are planning a trip to Tokyo, one big question is, where should I stay? Tokyo is huge and each area has its own vibe and personality. So today, based on accessibility, hotel prices, how close it is to major sites, and safety, I'm gonna share my personal top 10 picks for the best areas to stay in Tokyo. This list is totally based on my own opinion, so don't take it too seriously. But I hope it helps. Alright, let's jump in. Number 10. Tachikawa. Coming in at number 10 is Tachikawa, located in western Tokyo. It's about 30 minutes by train from Shinjuku, so it's a bit outside the city center. But that's actually what makes it a great hidden gem. Tachikawa Station is a major transportation hub, with access to the JR Chuon Line, Number Line, and the Tama monorail. So getting around Tokyo and nearby area is surprisingly easy. The area around the station has gone through a lot of redevelopment lately, and it's a shopping paradise with big malls and department stores everywhere. And the best part, you can shop and eat without getting wet on rainy days, thanks to all covered walkways and indoor facilities. Hotels in Tachikawa are generally more affordable than those in central Tokyo, and you will often find rooms that are a bit more spacious too. There are great options for families like hotels with kid-friendly rooms and even service to apartments that are perfect for longer stays. At the same time, you will also find plenty of budget choices like business hotels and capsule hotels. So no matter what your budget is, Tachikawa has something for you. When it comes to sightseeing, Showa Kinen Park is just a short walk from the station. It's a huge park where you can enjoy beautiful Japanese gardens. It's the perfect spot to relax and take a break from the busy city life. If you hop on the Tama monorail, you can also easily get to Tama Zoo or Sanrio Pureland, which are great for families with kids. Safe-wise, it's one of the best. Many people say it's a safe and convenient area for walking around, grabbing food, or just exploring, so you can really relax and enjoy your stay. Number 9. Akihabara. Number 9 is Akihabara, the world-famous electronics district. Akihabara is known as Tokyo's ultimate mecca for otaku culture. If you're into manga, anime, or video games, this place is basically heaven. Just walking around, you'll see glowing neon signs, shop staff in cosplay calling out to customers, and all kind of quirky stores. It's one of the best places to really feel the energy of Japanese pop culture. Another big plus of Akihabara is how well connected it is. You've got access to several train lines, like the JR Yamanote Line, Keihin Tohoku Line, Sobu Line, Tsukuba Express, and the Tokyo Metro Hibiya Line. It's only about 5 minutes from the Tokyo station by train, so getting around the city is super easy. It's also really close to popular spots like Ueno and Asakusa, which makes it a great base for sightseeing. Hotel prices in Akihabara are pretty reasonable too. There are lots of business hotels and business hostels, so if you're traveling on a budget, this area is a great choice. When it comes to sightseeing, Akihabara itself is already a major tourist spot. Of course, you can explore the electronic district, but there is more. You can walk to places like Kanda Myojin Shrine, and even Sensoji Temple in Asakusa isn't too far if you're up for a little adventure. At night, there's plenty of restaurants and bars open, so the area stays lively, but it's not as crazy as places like Shinjuku or Shibuya. Safety-wise, Akihabara is pretty solid. Even if you're walking around late, it generally feels safe and calm. Number 8. Odaiba and Tokyo Bay. Number 8 is the futuristic area of Odaiba, set right on Tokyo Bay. It's a waterfront district with amazing views of Tokyo skyline across the Rainbow Bridge, especially beautiful at night. Odaiba is packed with theme parks, massive shopping malls, and fun attractions, making it a full-on entertainment zone. To get to Odaiba, you will use the Yurikamome Line or the Rinkai Line. It's a bit farther from central Tokyo, but riding the Yurikamome over the Rainbow Bridge gives you awesome views. It almost feels like an attraction itself. One thing to keep in mind, late night or early morning access can be limited, so if you're planning to stay out late in the city, you might want to consider taking a taxi back. Hotels in Odaiba tend to be in the mid to high-end range, but many of them offer ocean views and spacious rooms, so you really get what you pay for. But if you're looking for budget-friendly options, they are a bit limited here, so just keep in mind when planning your stay. There is also a lot to see and do around Odaiba. For families, there are fun spots like Legoland Discovery Center Tokyo, the indoor amusement park Joypolis, and the Miraikan Science Museum, places where both kids and adults can have a great time. For couples, the area has some amazing night views. The view from Odaiba Seaside Park is especially romantic, perfect for a date night. And if you are into art, The super popular Timor Planets Tokyo Digital Art Museum is just over in the Toyosu area, and it's easy to get there from Odaiba. Number 7. Ueno. Number 7 is Ueno. Ueno is one of Tokyo's more traditional areas with a classic old town vibe, kind of like Asakusa. It's a great place to experience a more traditional side of the city. The biggest highlight is definitely Ueno Park, a huge public space that's home to museums, galleries, and even a zoo. You get a nice mix of culture and nature all in one place. It's also one of the best spots for cherry blossoms in spring, so it gets super lively with people coming out for Hanami. Ueno is also really convenient when it comes to transportation. JR Ueno Station is a stop for the Shinkansen, and it's also the final spot for the Keisei Skyliner from Narita Airport, so it's a great hub whether you are coming from the airport or heading out to other parts of Japan. You can also hop on the JR Yamanote Line or Keishin Tohoku Line to get straight to Tokyo Station or Akihabara, and the Tokyo Metro Ginza and Hibiya lines make it easy to reach places like Asakusa or Ginza, all without needing to transfer. Compared to central Tokyo, hotel prices in Ueno are more budget-friendly. There are plenty of affordable yet good quality hotels, which makes this area especially popular with budget travelers and people staying longer. Overall, Ueno is a pretty safe area, but there are a few things to keep in mind. At night, some parts around the Ueno Park can get a bit quiet, with fewer people around, so if you are a solo female traveler, it's probably best to avoid walking through the park too late, just to be on the safe side. Number 6. Roppongi. Number 6 is Roppongi, Tokyo's internationally famous nightlife district. Roppongi has a cosmopolitan vibe and is especially popular with international business travelers. You will find luxury hotels, foreign embassies, and lots of places where English is spoken, so it feels very international and welcoming. Roppongi is mainly served by the Toei Oedo Line and the Tokyo Metro Hibiya Line. It doesn't have a JR Yamanote Line station, which can be a bit inconvenient. But you can still get to Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ginza and Ueno directly by subway, no transfers needed. But if you're heading to Tokyo Station or Asakusa, you will need to transfer, so in terms of access, it's just a little less convenient than other spots. Hotel prices in Roppongi are generally on the higher side. You will find ultra luxury hotels like the Ritz-Carlton Tokyo and Grand Hyatt Tokyo, which offer top-class stays for high-end travelers. However, there are not that many mid-range or budget-friendly hotels directly in Roppongi. If you are looking to save a bit but still want to enjoy the Roppongi nightlife, it's a good idea to look for hotels in nearby Asakusa, where you will find more affordable options. When it comes to nightlife and entertainment, Roppongi is one of the best spots in Tokyo. The area is full of stylish bars, clubs, and live music venues, and it stays lively late into the night. Number 5. Tokyo Station and Marunouchi area. Number 5 is the Tokyo Station and Marunouchi area, right at the heart of the city. This area blends modern office towers with historic architecture, and the red brick Tokyo Station Marunouchi building is a real highlight. It's surrounded by the Marunouchi Business District, which gives off a strong business vibe, but don't let that fool you. It's actually a fantastic base for sightseeing too. From Tokyo Station, you can easily reach pretty much anywhere in Tokyo, and even other parts of Japan. With Shinkansen, JR lines, and subways all coming through here, it's perfect for exploring the city or even taking a day trip out of town. Hotels around Tokyo Station tend to be on the luxury side, but you can definitely expect a high-end experience to match the price. You will find world-class 5-star hotels like the Four Seasons Marunouchi, Aman Tokyo, Palace Hotel Tokyo, and Shangri-La Tokyo. These places offer top-notch service, stunning views, and everything you'd expect from some of the best hotels in the world. For sightseeing, the Imperial Palace is just around the corner, so you can enjoy a peaceful walk surrounded by nature, even though you are right in the middle of Tokyo. And if you are a foodie, you'll love the Tokyo Station Underground, which is packed with great places to eat, like the popular Tokyo Ramen Street. So whether you are craving noodles or something more fancy, you won't have any trouble finding good food here. As for safety, it pretty much goes without saying, but this area is very safe. Even late at night, it stays calm and quiet, thanks to its business district atmosphere. Number 4. Ginza. Number 4 is Ginza, one of Japan's most luxurious shopping districts. Ginza is known for its rows of high-end international brand stores, giving it a super upscale, classy feel. It's the kind of place where you can enjoy elegant shopping during the day and fine dining at night. Definitely a more grown-up, sophisticated vibe. In terms of access, Ginza is really well connected. Ginza Station is served by the Hibiya Line, Ginza Line, and Marunouchi Line, so you can get to most major parts of Tokyo without any transfers. Yurakucho Station and Shimbashi Station are also within walking distance, which means you can use the JR Yamanote line too. It's also super close to Tokyo Station, just a 5-minute taxi ride or about a 15-minute walk, so it's really convenient if you are using the Shinkansen. As you might expect, hotel prices in Ginza are on the higher side, but staying at a top-class hotel here is a special experience. Alright, now we are getting into the top 3. Coming in at number 3 is Asakusa, a neighborhood full of old Edo charm. Asakusa is one of the best places to experience traditional Tokyo culture, with the iconic Sensoji Temple and Kaminarimon Gate at its heart. The whole area has that lively, old-school vibe that really shows off the city roots. As for transportation, Asakusa is served by the Toei Asakusa Line, Tokyo Metro Ginza Line, and the Tobu Skytree Line. There is no JR station here, which is a slight downside, but here is the big plus. Asakusa Line gives you direct access to both Haneda and Narita airports with no transfers. That makes getting in and out of Tokyo super convenient, especially if you are carrying luggage. When it comes to hotel prices, Asakusa is one of the most affordable areas in Tokyo. You will find everything from traditional Japanese inns to modern hostels and capsule hotels. So there is a wide range of options, especially if you are traveling on a budget. It's a great spot for getting a local experience without spending too much. In terms of safety, Asakusa is very secure and tourist friendly. Locals here are used to visitors from around the world, so international travelers can feel totally at ease staying here. Number 2. Shibuya. Number 2 is Shibuya, the beating heart of youth culture in Tokyo. It's world famous the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, often called the busiest intersection on the planet. This area is always packed with trend-savvy young people and tourists, giving it an incredibly energetic vibe. Just walking around, you will be surrounded by giant screens, flashy lights, and super stylish shops. It's a lot, in the best way possible. When it comes to access, Shibuya is a major transportation hub, served by over 10 train lines. You've got JR lines like the Yamanote, Saikyo, and Shonan Shinjuku lines, subways like the Hanzomon, Ginza, and Fukutoshin lines. You can get to Shinjuku, Shinagawa, or Tokyo Station directly on the Yamanote line, and places like Omotesando or Asakusa are just a short subway ride away. From Narita Airport, you've got plenty of limousine buses. It takes about 85 minutes. There is no direct train to Haneda, but you can get there in about 40 minutes via Shinagawa. When it comes to hotels, Shibuya mainly offers mid to high-end options. Even though it's known as a youth hotspot, you still find some impressive luxury hotels here. But Shibuya doesn't have as many capsule hotels or hostels compared to places like Shinjuku, so if you're on a budget, it's a good idea to book early. As for sightseeing and shopping, Shibuya is hard to beat. Just to name a few iconic spots: the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, Hachiko Statue, Shibuya 109, Center Gai, Cat Street, and Shibuya Sky Observation Deck. There's always something new opening up, so the city feels like it's constantly evolving. If you head toward Harajuku, you can walk down Takeshita Street to experience Harajuku youth culture, and then pop over to Omotesando for high-end shopping and trendy cafes. And if you need a break from the bus, Meijing Shrine offers a peaceful escape right in the middle of the city. And finally taking the number 1 spot, it's none other than Shinjuku, the city that never sleeps. If you ask, where's the best place to stay in Tokyo? Shinjuku is always at the top of the list, and for good reason. It ranks highest overall in this guide thanks to its excellent access, huge variety of hotels, central location for sightseeing, and non-stop city energy. It really is a perfect snapshot of what Tokyo is all about, which is why it's so popular with travelers. Let's start with transportation. Shinjuku Station is the largest train hub in Japan, with over 10 train lines, including JR, subway lines, and private railways. You've got direct access to the airports via the Narita Express and limousine buses, plus trains like the Azusa Limited Express to Yamanashi or the Romance Car to Hakone, making it a great base for exploring both Tokyo and beyond. And with plenty of 24-hour restaurants and convenience tours, even if you arrive late at night or leave super early, you'll have everything you need right around you. And one of Shinjuku's biggest strengths is sheer variety of hotels. No matter your budget or travel style, you will find something that fits. From hostels and capsule hotels for backpackers to apartment-style hotels that are great for families, all the way to 5-star luxury options, Shinjuku has it all. And if you expand your search just a bit to nearby neighborhoods like Shin-Okubo or Higashinjuku, you will find even more budget-friendly choices within walking distance. Now, let's talk about safety. Some people worry about Kabukicho, Shinjuku's nightlife district. It's true that late at night, you might see more drunk people, and the area can feel a bit chaotic. but things have really improved in recent years, thanks to increased police presence and crackdowns on sketchy activity. As long as you use common sense and avoid any shady spots, the chances of running into trouble are very low, especially for normal sightseeing. And finally, Shinjuku is packed with entertainment. If you love food, you are in luck. There are countless restaurants, izakayas, and street food shops, serving everything from ramen and sushi to high-end steak and global cuisine. Now, is Shinjuku perfect? Not exactly. Some people say it's just too big. I got lost in the station with its 2,100 exits. And yeah, Shinjuku Station is a bit of a maze the first time. But even with that, the convenience, the energy, and the endless options make Shinjuku the best place to stay in Tokyo, at least in my opinion. So what did you think of my top 10 places to stay in Tokyo? This ranking was based on my personal opinion, but honestly each area has its own unique charm, and the best place really depends on your travel style and what you are looking for. If you want to be in the middle of all the action, Shinjuku or Shibuya are perfect. I hope this video helps you figure out which area suits you best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing trip to Tokyo.